Okay, I'd like to make a very serious video about a subject that's something that I'm deeply interested in, and a company, and I'm connected with them any more so when I made a really heartfelt video about Fuji, and about the way they treat their customers, and about the things that they're doing. Um, Before getting into that, let's make a really simple analogy so that everybody understands it. I translate a couple ancient languages, and I've been saying now for decades that I could always tell what someone understood by what they recommended you read. If they recommended you read this, just junky material, then they probably didn't understand much. If someone said, I recommend this book, I was like, wow, this is a person that gets it. If you go to a photo event like Photokina, or any one of the huge photography events, and this is where you really need to pay attention. And this is what the top 10 or 20 YouTube photographers, you don't ever hear them talking about it. You will see, if you were to step back or go above Photokina, you will see all the noobs, and look, we all are different. Photography is a huge damn business, okay? The person that's an expert in food photography is not the person that's an expert in portraiture, and vice versa. Some people are kind of skilled at everything. One person's an expert at one thing, other person's You will see the noobs and the people that lust after gear. They're always wanting to hold the latest. I've done tons of videos on lenses and tons of videos on cameras. I've also done tons of videos on light mods and lighting. I've got at least 20 times more light mod videos, especially unique stuff that I invented myself, than anybody else out there. Okay, that's not the point. The point is that if you're to look at a Photokina event, you will see the noobs all wrangled around a new camera or a new lens, and you'll see the hardcore professionals at the booths of people that make octoboxes and strobes and lighting equipment, and you've got two different sets of photographers. Doesn't matter what type of photographer they are. One of them is hanging around the cameras and the lenses. Wow, look at the new lens. The professionals, the real professionals, the ones that, they are professional by the merit of what they do. You will see them like a kid in a candy store, like over at the booth that is showing you the new strobes or the speed lights or the reflectors. It's like, that's not sexy, man. I'm interested in looking at this new Zeiss lens. Well, the best lens in the world, under the best circumstances, can produce, if you have the skills, amazing shots. But the true professionals know that it's lighting, damn it. Excuse the fact that I cuss there. I want to be adamant about one thing, and something I feel very strongly about as I do about what Fuji's been doing recently. Not that I don't love the hell out of Nikon. Doesn't matter what you love. Nikon, Fuji, Canon, Sony, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how good your lenses are from Fuji, Sony, Nikon. It's about saturation and it's about lighting control. There's only two things that define a professional photographer: expert in composition. Number two is mastery of the light, the ability to have total control of light manipulation. If you're outside, you want to take some beautiful portraiture, you have to have the power that does not come from the speed light to crush the ambient. You just ask a professional photographer, you'll be like, what are you talking about? Crushing the ambience. Like on the recent contest, I've been talking about this, and a professional photographer posted a picture on the bag giveaway, and it's beautiful. And he was using a leaf shutter, and I think it was like 1,000th of a second, and he was shooting in bright daylight, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, this picture is just friggin' incredible." He's using a softbox. Okay, he's lighting equipment. You just can't go out there. I don't care how good your skills are. It's like, well, yes, you can be the person that hunts the perfect picture like a hunter tracking down a deer. Or you could be, now this is just an analogy, you can be the hunter that's like, the deer passed through here, I'm going to put down some salt licks and some other things that deers like, and I'm not a hunter, I'm going to perch myself up here because I will bring in the deer to me. And the professional photographer is like that master hunter instead of like a caveman hunter. A caveman hunter goes out seeking the light. The master hunter is like, I'm going to make the light come to me, or I'm going to make the light. And Paul C. Buff makes the most incredible. You think I'm talking for, I'm not, okay? Not. I'm just telling you, I'm speaking from my heart. Their equipment is incredible. The nature of the light mods that I can attach to it with their speed rings. Here's one of my Einstein studio strobes. Okay, right now I have a long throw reflector on there. Behind me I got another Einstein. The other back room there I got two more Einsteins. I have an amazing ring light that I've made like 20 videos on. I've had a lot of people buy this thing off my recommendation. Every one of them just happy as hell. I can hang a softbox off of this, an octabox, long throw reflectors, regular reflectors. I mean, my God, the possibilities. You want to talk about the Swiss Army knife? Okay, all I have to do is flip this switch, drop on a softbox, a octabox, an umbrella, drop in an umbrella through the top here, screw it in. I got an optical slave. I got 640 watt seconds dialable down to 2.5 watt seconds. I can actually do over a 13,000th of a second stroboscopic work and do that sort of stop motion where someone like drops something in the water and they catch the water droplets. Real hardcore stop motion flash photography is about controlling the light. When you control the light, and I don't mean, yes, there's a lot of amazing things you can do with a speed light. Where you're making the money at. Now, if you enjoy photography as a hobby, awesome. You're going to be able to increase your photography infinitely more so. And there have been people that bought some Paul C. Buff studio strobes off my recommendation recently. One person is making beautiful photographs. She's a lovely lady. I'm not going to mention her name. And she's cranking out some hardcore beautiful pictures. And everybody's like, oh my God, girl, you go. Damn, beautiful. She admits that she has not been into photography that long. Yes, some people have the eye, some people don't. I think she has an eye. I think her photographs are beautiful. And obviously it is the photographer. You know, you need to know how to use this equipment like you need to know how to use your camera. But if you have the best skills in the world, okay, time is money. You can be hunting down the light all you want, or you can sit there, pop this on a light stand, indoors, outdoors, wherever the hell you want. I got Vagabond battery packs around me. I'm not tethered by any cable. Plug this into a Vagabond, boom. I think Paul C. Buff is making the best studio illumination out there right now currently. Now, I know some of you are going to go, what about Broncolor? I'm not going to put down any other. I've been using studio strobes since photography school over 20 years, and I can tell you I've never seen anything like Paul C. Buff. If you want to talk about serious, many thousands of dollars, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what else is out there, and this is it. This is all that does exist to me. I've seen the products from the other companies. It's not as modular. It's not as reliable. It's nowhere near as well built. The customer service, not even close. You know, you can spend some hardcore serious lighting. You got, I don't know, IBM or some other company, and they bring in a photographer, and he's got 200 pounds of, I'm not going to mention the company. There is some insanely expensive studio equipment. Very expensive. It's also very large, but it's not very modular. And it's nowhere near. I have used that equipment. I don't need to mention their name. No. Paul C. Buff, Einstein. This is made in America. This is, you know, it's like, well, maybe you're just being a patriotic American. Well, you know, you're praising it. No. If this product was made overseas and it was the exact same customer service and quality, I would be praising it exactly the same. That's just an added bonus for me because, let's be frank, I mean, too many kids are brought up thinking they need to get a PhD in English. Nobody's making anything in America anymore, for God's sakes. I mean, I could go on another rant about that. I mean, that absolutely pisses me off. This is a hardcore quality product that lets me do everything with the Cyber Commander and the built-in CSX RCV transceiver unit, which I don't have in this unit right now. I do one behind me and plenty in the back room. I can control and dominate the light anywhere and everywhere and throw out some serious power and just ask a professional what it means to crush the ambient. You don't hear about this in photography magazines. You don't hear people talking about this. People think, well, I'm just going to pop in a speed light in my bag and a couple lenses and walk around. Okay, if you're a street photographer, that's hunky-dory. You fulfill whatever desire it is for whatever branch of photography that you want. What I'm telling you is that every branch of photography can benefit from your mastery and control of the lighting. Money. if you plan on doing this and making money, and if you think you're going to start making money with better lenses or more expensive lenses and better camera, no. No, 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 no. A person with skills can use the cheapest Nikon out there and a good studio strobe and rock out pictures if he knows what he's doing. Obviously, the gear does not do anything other than take pictures. You're the one that has to make the pictures up here. You have to have the skills up here. It doesn't matter if it's the camera. My point is that a cheap camera and a studio strobe will do better than a Zeiss and a Nikon D810 with ambient lighting. Period. Flat out, bar none. You're not going to argue with me. Period. It's like, what should you rather take to a wedding? A Nikon D810 and a Zeiss? Or would you rather have a studio strobe and the cheapest Nikon, like a Nikon from 8 years ago, and a cheap kit lens? I will rock it out with that cheap old Nikon camera and a kit lens, a crummy kit lens, and this studio strobe more than I will a Nikon D. Now, if you're going to make the money, you have to have the lighting. I said you go to a photo convention where they have all the gear from all over the world, every damn bit of gear that's there. The pros are oogling and drooling over this stuff. The lighting. If you don't want to take anything away from this video, that's what you should be taking away. You got the noobs, and we all have our own ignorances, okay? I understand lusting after that super expensive lens, a Zeiss, whatever it is, Fuji's latest lens, Nikon's latest lens. Great. It's important. It's optics, that is important. It is the lighting. Your camera demands saturation. Your ability to dominate the light both indoors and outdoors. Indoors, obviously, with studio lighting, you have total control of everything. You control the ambient, you control every bit. Hair light, rim light, main light, background light, you control everything. You can do most of that with one light if you got the skills, just using a simple reflector or two. The modular nature of these units, and I'm talking about Pulse Buff specifically, is incredible. It gives you all the options to do whatever you want. Instead of lusting after that next lens, I would I recommend you no higher than to think about, I'm going to put it off that lens and I need lighting. I need lighting. That's what you need to tell yourself is I need lighting. The ABR 800, I only talk about this, I've got a couple of these. I got another one over here. Two half moon xenon strobe tubes in here, along with ringed 8 modeling lights. This little unit is a money maker. This is like having your own printing press, except it's legal. I've had quite a few people buy this unit off of my recommendation. One guy, I just got off the phone. I've talked to him all the time. He's out in California. He is making the money. The only thing he's actually, listen up, this is funny. The only reason he's pissed about this particular unit is because he's getting so many requests for photo shoots. He's like, he's an older guy. It's wearing his ass out. He's got more work now than he can handle, and the money is rolling in. This is a money maker. You can mount this on a light stand. This will make the most beautiful, incredible ring light illumination you've ever seen. Please, I advise you to go to the ABR 800 ring light and just see what happens when you have magic light. Okay? You can hunt down the light all you want, but professionals make the light. Part of professionalism, any form of professionalism, is being a lazy SOB. Well, what does that mean? Professionals work harder. No, professionals work smarter. You can work harder, bust your butt, get nowhere. You work smarter, then you get somewhere. A true professional is a lazy ass. They make the light. They're not out there hunting. If you're a street photographer, you got to hunt the light. You're a wildlife photographer, landscape photographer, you got to hunt the light. Those are different branches of photography. Not that those don't also benefit from stroboscopic use. You are making the light. You are being a lazy person. You understand what it means to go outside in 3 p.m. light, and you are able to expose for your ambient illumination, your background. You got a backlit shot. You expose for that and raise your subject up, or even a group. I got a couple Einsteins. I pop one over here, pop one over there. Take a group shot. Money. Just hear the cash register opening. Ka-ching, ka-ching. So you want to talk about the monetary side of things instead of the true. There's no difference between the art side and the monetary side. If they are your vision, it is all art, period. The only difference is you're being paid immediately for one and hopefully being paid later for the other one. The customer service of Pulse Buff is absolutely phenomenal. Nice people located in Nashville, Tennessee. Listen, there's an old saying. I don't trust people that love everything. I mean, I always thought people that loved everything are stupid. It's like, well, nothing you say is of any value because you love everything, you know. Oh, I love it. I love, well, you know. Well, so what? Nothing has any relative value to you. You love everything. I'm not grumpy. I'm not mean. I just call myself the angry photographer. Let's put it this way. When I really, really like something, then listen up because I don't like most things. You know, it's like, and I can criticize the hell out of everything. I've got nothing but praise for Paul C. Buff and their products. Nothing but praise. And additionally so, my dad was working at IBM when I was growing up, and he'd bring home all this broken stuff that was in the trash bin, typewriters and stuff, and I'd have a screwdriver, and instead of toys, I had broken crud to take apart and see how it worked. I have a unique, and the ability, and of course when I used to repair cameras and lenses, I have a unique slant on how the hell something is made. You should never take these apart, by the way, because they have large capacitors in them and they can hurt you. So don't ever take a studio strobe apart, okay? Let me say that fair warning. Never do it. I have a unique understanding of how things work, and I know quality when I see it and when I use it, and I know quality customer service when I see it and I use it. The value on Einstein and Paul C. Buff is phenomenal. I don't care, you know, some of the best photographers in the world are using Paul C. Buff because it is freaking incredible. It's modular, it's simple, it's easy to set up. You have enormous control. Once I turn this unit on with my Cyber Commander sitting on my hot shoe, which I've got up there, I should have grabbed it. I have complete control over adjusting the output and the modeling lamp illumination. That is being smart. You know, I don't believe in going back to the studio strip, adjusting the power, come back, check, chimp. You know, no. My light meter, hit it once, boom, set it on my Cyber Commander sitting on top of my hot shoe. It's done. What was I else I was going to say? Yeah, about saturation. You know, the best lenses in the world are only good to a point. When you talk about getting true subject isolation, getting that saturation that only exists out of dropping some serious light onto your subject, it's a studio strobe. This one unit, which is $500 by the way, the Einstein unit, which is their premier unit, they just came out with a Digibee, and I've got one of those on order, and I'll hopefully be one of the first people reviewing it next week, or sometime basically next week. You know, if you're just talking about the monetary side, it's like, I need to make a few bucks in photography. I love shooting on my own, but I want to make a few bucks. You have to get a studio strobe. It's like, no, I can do it with a speed light. No, you can do a lot more with a speed light, but you really can't do it until you drop some serious light and some serious power. And it's not all about power. I mean, obviously, Paul C. Buff makes the White Lightning units where you can drop some serious power and take some huge group photographs and dominate the ambient illumination, absolutely crush it using ND filters, or if you have a leaf shutter, whatever means of shot that it is you're trying to take. When you're able to dominate the light and you have control over everything, then everything is in your vision and you are no longer a slave to whatever the hell sort of light. Well, this picture would be great, but the lighting sucks. No, you dominate that lighting. You take care of it, and that's why you get the shots. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And having more lenses and more cameras is not going to do it. Like I said, and I've said this already once in this video, when you go to a photo convention, you should make note of the fact that the pros are lusting after and drooling over this stuff. Okay, not the new lenses, not the new damn camera. Oh, so-and-so came with a new camera, a new lens. No, they're over here looking at lighting. Octoboxes, soft boxes, reflectors, moon dishes. That is what they're at. You know, that should give you a big hint on what it is you should drop your next buck on. Not that lens, but highly recommend these. And shout out to Paul C. Buff, because I don't actually think they are. I know they are. They're incredible. And you know, the people that bought this unit alone, just talking about this unit alone, the Moon unit, excuse me, well, the Moon unit's an attachment for this, the ABR 800, the ring light, very happy. And I've heard back from 3 of them. Not only are they happy, they're making some serious money, because Most people are not walking around with a ring light, much less a ring light unit like this. Most ring lights are not